There was a time not that long ago when you'd get shoved into a locker for saying that you were reading a comic book, let alone a comic book about a talking raccoon and a talking tree on space adventures together. And now those two have become pop culture icons, and everybody's so excited for the second movie featuring those two. What a world we live in!
Hope you're ready. It'll be here any minute. Is that a rifle?
You don't know what a rifle looks like?
So way back when the original Guardians of the Galaxy came out, that was really the movie where Marvel Studios was dipping their toe into their cosmic universe and seeing how much or to what extent audiences would really come along for the ride. And there was a little bit of that with Thor, but then that came out that really balanced the modern day science and the mystical realm of the Norse gods. And then flash forward to 2017, and Marvel is just really going for it. Doctor Strange explored all these different trippy realms, especially that scene where he's flying through all the different dimensions. We kind of get a scene like that here in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 really embraces the cosmic weirdness of the Marvel Cosmic Cinematic Universe, MCU? Anyway, but it takes it even further. It explores intimate themes like the bond between family members, but more specifically a father and a son, but it does it on such a huge scale. There's a lot going on in this movie. For me personally, that is one of the reasons I don't rank this film quite as high as Guardians 1. With the first one, it kind of had the familiar hero play out, but it introduced us to characters that we loved, that we had fun with, that we couldn't wait to spend more time with. And now we get those same characters here, and they're just as fun, if not funnier than the first one. But there's so much going on in this one that it kind of lacks a focused narrative. It's really difficult to sum this movie up in about a sentence or two. But when it did explore the more intimate themes, like that father and son relationship, those were my favorite parts of the movie, because that is when the acting and the performances really came through, is when it was mostly just one-on-one, like with Chris Pratt and Kurt Russell, or Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana. Gamora and her sister are also a good example of that. They have a really tough history, and even though Thanos is not in the movie, and that's not a spoiler because James Gunn has said previously before the movie came out that he is not in this movie, you really hear about him and the things that he had those two sisters do to each other. It's really gruesome. It makes you think, wow, this guy's really a dick. And like I said, this one's funnier. It has a higher ratio of jokes. Some of them land, some of them don't. But if you didn't laugh at one joke, you're going to laugh at the next one just a few seconds away. It's like Marvel and James Gunn were paying attention to everybody's tweets and Facebook posts after the first one, and they said, you really like these characters and these jokes, well, we're going to give you more of that. And we definitely do get more of that for the sacrifice of a more focused story. And this time we also get characters who were in the first Guardians, but they play a larger role here, like Michael Rooker's Yondu and Gamora's sister. We're also introduced to Mantis, and all of these characters are great, but I think we're at the cusp where there's about too much of them, because other characters like Drax, who we love, he gets more jokes in this one, he gets a lot less action, a lot less story or background development. And Baby Groot, who's been featured heavily in the marketing for this movie, as he should, but he doesn't get a lot of story in this one, not a lot of moments to himself. They're mostly comedic, and they're funny, and they work, and he's cute, but he doesn't get a lot to do. And that's kind of the sacrifice of this grander scale exploration that this second Guardians movie does. And the soundtrack is, in my opinion, is not as strong as the first one, although, and that's just my personal music taste, but it does feature more prominently in the film. It plays a more important role to this movie than the first soundtrack to the first Guardians movie did for that film. And Kurt Russell, of course, who is in the trailers, it's not a spoiler, is Chris Pratt, aka Star-Lord's father. And he brings all the charisma, all the ego, pun intended, to his character that you would think Chris Pratt, Star-Lord's father, would have. And they do some interesting things, get a lot of laughs out of him. And yes, I can confirm there are five post-credit stingers, so make sure you're staying around watching all 5 of them. They're great. So walking out of Guardians 2, I was very happy with it. I had fun. I'll go see it again a second, a third time. Definitely check it out in IMAX. But it doesn't have that focused narrative of the first film. But you're just walking into Guardians anyway looking for a good time. You're definitely going to have it. I give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 a B+. If you liked this video, guys, and this review, click the thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Are you excited for Guardians 2? Comes out Friday. Have you seen it? What did you think? Did you hate it? Do you want to curse James Gunn's name atop the mountains? let me know. And don't forget to subscribe. You can catch all my reviews, Blu-ray unboxings, trailer reactions, all of that on my channel, Movie Minutes at YouTube. I also have a movie blog. Link is in the description, as well as links to all my social media. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on another episode of Movie Minutes. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on another episode of Mini Minute.